Let's start, of course, with the new Prime Minister, new leader of the Conservative Party, Rishi Sunak. Sunak comes to power in The Guardian. Unite or die was that very stark warning that Sunak gave to the party.
Yeah, and I think he's right. And I think, sadly for him, it's the die option. And I think we need to do that. And I'll tell you why. 7 weeks ago, he was put forward as the leader of the party, and the membership unanimously said they were not ready for Rishi. This time...
They didn't unanimously say.
Well, listen, he got nowhere near power because the membership didn't want him. And he was the worst. He was the worst of two options. They didn't want Truss either. They wanted somebody else. They didn't get them. And now there's been a carve-up of power behind the scenes, reminiscent of the sort of stuff I used to see in the European Union, where Penny Mordaunt mysteriously drops out.
Well, she didn't get enough backers.
No,
she didn't get enough backers. And actually, probably Boris didn't get enough backers. So...
Yeah, but that's a separate story. The fact of the matter is, he's been anointed by Tory MPs. He's gone nowhere near an election. It's a disgrace. And I'm afraid he's not the solution, particularly for the Red Wall, like where I campaigned. I'll speak to Red Wall MPs, Conservatives yesterday, who are furious about this because they're staring down the barrel of a P45 because Rishi will not unite the party. He will not unite the country.
Why not? Because that's the situation up until now. This is what he inherits today. There's a case that he's saying we've got to get together. Why do you think that's impossible?
Because he represents a wing of the party that doesn't represent parts of the country. I mean, for example, in the Midlands and in the North, the Brexit heartlands, they voted for a Brexit mandate. They wanted Boris Johnson. They haven't got him anymore.
Martin, you can't deny that Rishi's the best man to deliver on economics, and this is what we need right now.
Well, that's an interesting point, isn't it? Because here's a guy that printed £70 billion worth of money during the pandemic. He's the guy that's basically caused inflation. If you print money, you cause inflation, and now he's seen as the economic saviour. I find that bizarre. I don't think the Tories have got a hope, and I think we need a general election. And I'm hearing from people all the time who are jumping ship. They're tearing up their membership of the Conservative Party. They're going to reform parties like that.
But what he's also doing is appealing more at a time when economic stability is the key. Even for those people in Red Wall seats, where it's actually probably more of a key to places like, richer parts of London and all the rest of it, economic stability is going to be the crucial way forward.
Yeah, but how's he going to do that? I mean, if you put money in people's pockets through tax cuts, you said he can't do that.
No.
Liz Truss did that and it's been kicked out.
But he's going to try and bring down inflation, isn't he? I mean, that's the key. Well, I don't know. I'm not an economist.
but maybe...
But he is.
Maybe nobody can sort this mess out. Maybe the economy is too far gone and maybe let's just give us a general election, give it to Labour and let them screw it.
But I think the bigger picture at hand is we need stability as a country and we haven't had that for a long time. So I just think bringing a general election is going to cause more instability and more mayhem and we're not actually fixing the problems at hand.
See, what I'm intrigued... I've got to say... Martin, I'm intrigued by the fact that if there was a general election, and I know, Labour would get in at the moment.
They would.
Are you saying you've got more faith in Labour's economic policies than you have in Tories? Well, in that case, why do you want them in?
Well, that's like saying, do you want to be hung or do you want to be shot? But that's where we're at. They're both terrible options. The Labour Party would be terrible for Britain.
So why do you want them in?
I don't want them in. Let the people decide. That's democracy.
Yes, but there isn't
going to be a general election, though, is there? Unless the Conservatives call for it. So, based on the situation, exactly. So, based on the situation that we are in, what do you want?
Well, I want a general election.
OK, we know that's not going to happen.
And so do the people. Let the people decide, and that's the point. The people didn't decide. Parliamentarians decided, and it's a carve-up.
This is a time